Welcome back in, everybody.
This is for Metalhead Mike Brown.
Oh, Dave, you are awesome.
No doubt, man. I saw them ticket stubs. Woo!
I heard that through the headphones. I didn't have the headphones on. I'm like, that's AC/DC.
Are you ready for a good time?
Awesome. So awesome.
Are they just tuning up right there? Or just tuning the instrument?
I think so.
Yeah. CG.
The crazy thing about all those
CG.
yeah, crazy thing about all those ticket stubs that I posted on a picture together with for Facebook was
I'm here to help you, man.
how many thanks. Yeah, I'm blanking out. Was how many concerts I've actually gone to that I don't have ticket stubs for.
Oh, wow, because they got some good stubs there.
Oh, there are other ones that
When I think of you, I think of a good stub.
yeah.
You know what you should do with those? What I did years
awesome.
ago is I bought like a photo album, the kind that the plastic folds back, and then you lay the photos in, you put it over, and I keep my ticket stubs in there, and then I can flip through it like a photo album, and I keep them all preserved because a few of them have signatures and stuff on them, and it works well. You should do that.
And you found some good, speaking of signatures, some good autographs, but you've been digging through some memorabilia stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty neat, man. Pretty well. You mentioned one of them gave you chills. You
didn't feel the names on there?
I saw the names. I just don't know all those people.
The very last one,
which was
started with the initials OJ.
Oh, you have his signature.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went back because
I got to go back and look.
I went back and I looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, that is the juice. And so I thought to myself, okay.
Unfortunately, it's probably worth the most.
So I can
How sad is that?
I can take this little book of autographs and I can go. I went on Google and I said, okay, when did the Juice play for the Niners? And it was in 1978. And then I looked at like Joe Montana and Dwight Clark because I know those were the rookie years that those guys were playing.
Yeah.
So they played in 79. So I figured out that the book is actually a book of two different years of when I went to the training camps in Santa Clara University. So that's when I stumbled on it because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how could there be O.J. Simpson and...
Oh, God, yeah. I see it right here.
Yeah.
I did not put it together, man. I thought that was P.F. Viviman. No kidding.
Crazy,
so
huh?
That's pre-murder, right?
Way post pre-murder. Pre-slash.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? That's as sad as that is. That could be the collector one.
Well, I looked up
some weird people.
Yeah, I looked up Joe Montana. I was a little surprised. I mean, he charged. I mean, this is back in 2011. He charged $150 to $200 an autograph. Joe Montana did, but I don't know what it means if it's just on a piece.
Does he always sign this back in? You were at he signed. They allowed him to sign with their numbers.
Yeah, that was what was.
So maybe that's cool because the other ones don't have his jersey number. Maybe this was
the Dwight Clark one I have doesn't. He didn't put his number down. It's just
that's pretty neat, bud.
You know, so that was really cool. That was a blast from the past.
Did you look up how much it's going for on eBay?
I did not actually. I just looked on Google and said, you know, what would this be worth? What would an autograph of Joe Montana?
eBay's a great way to price.
I hung out with
him. At least
him.
a general idea.
Remember last year I sent a picture of me.
You hung out with eBay?
No, with eBay with Joe.
Yeah, you told me.
He had a sling on. He had some work on his shoulder and arm, and he came with the U.S. Open up at Pebble Beach.
I remember that.
Yeah, I took a picture with him, and he was sitting there. He was checking out all the young people in our little first tee activities tent we had up there. And he walked in with the camera crew, and he had a couple of other football players. Everybody knew. Of course, I didn't know who they were, but everybody's swarming around him. I think it was the new quarterback for the 49ers.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Garoppolo.
I think
Jimmy
so.
G.
But of course, I didn't. I'm not. I mean, I'm looking forward to this weekend for sure, and I bet you are as well. But
oh my gosh,
but
I can't.
He was very
wait.
kind. He was very because cameras are in his face, right, Joe Montana.
I'm sure.
But he took a few minutes and kind of waved him off a little bit and talked to us a little bit about what we try to do at the first tee. So he did because I think they were filming something obviously to do with him because it seemed like a structure filming. There was something going on with those other two guys, and one of the other football players hit a couple balls in the simulator. Of course, Joe couldn't. I said, you probably could. You can do anything.
Right.
But he took a minute or two just to ask us questions instead of us asking him, which I thought was kind of cool.
Right.
But
But
I sent a picture to Darren, and he almost flipped out because he was there the day before.
Oh, yeah. Darren would.
So
He would go bonkers, man.
Until we get coming in a minute is Dr. Glenn Auerbach, sports psychologist. He is known as the founding father of modern applied sports psychology, an honorary lifetime member of the PGA, and a member of the Golf Writers Hall of Fame. Quite a stud, quite a background. He's worked with some of the greatest players, and he's got a connection with the San Francisco 49ers, and we'll talk to him about that, and kind of do some teasing to get this great book. And the book is The Clutch Golfer Formula. So if we can get him up and running, that'd be good.
What do you consider the clutch for you, for the clutch moment?
Pulling off something when the pressure's on.
Yeah, like what would you do in those situations? What do you do?
Breathe slowly and put myself into a slower motion with my mind and my breathing, and kind of just walk into it, and then go back into something I've done similar in the past that was successful. Kind of relive that, because we've hit so many types of shots in almost every shot. Nothing's too different, right? I mean, there's lies that change, but that's kind of it, So it's because there's always times that you pulled off good shots, even if it's pressure or not. So I just go back to that database in my brain. That's the one that pulled it off. But definitely breathe. Consciously slower breaths, because I do everything fast anyways, right? So I have to, and so then tempo gets really quick, and transitions get quick, and you're trying to get something done. When you try to make things happen,
right?
Brutal. You have to let things happen. And under pressure, most people try to make things. I got it. This has got to be it, man. I need this. All right, this is it. You can't think that way. I don't.
I know you can't. You can't. You're right. To actually be athletic, your athletic self, you can't be that way.
And you have to have a trusting skill set. So the more of these guys do it, God bless the Bryant family, and it was a tragedy, and I'll get into too much of that. But I found out later through Tiger and a few others that the Kobe's work ethic was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know; it's kind of private. But the way he worked out, from what I've heard since his tragic passing, is that he was so good because he had a skill set that he worked and worked and worked and worked on, that he can trust at any moment.
Yeah.
And golfers, if they don't do enough skill set developing, they can't trust.
Right.
Right? Because there's nothing to trust yet. So you have to really have a skill set that it's filling your computer with all the bits and pieces you can.
Right.
Right. And memory, if you will, like a computer, and then you just go back and hit F1 or whatever. You know what I mean? And if you if you don't do that, if you don't put in the time, him and Tiger had a lot of similarities in their work ethic. I guess they even worked out together, from what I understand. Training and stuff. But anyways,
that's.
I've had some success too. Putting, I've had some success with, even when you and I played in game tournaments and skin games and stuff, that I've made some good putts under pressure. Somehow they just happen to fall. So I've had that to look on most of the time when I play. It's when I don't have any pressure, and I usually miss I putt better under pressure. And I think it's only because I've had that success. I've seen them fall.
Do you think that's because that's a focus thing? Like, because there's more on the line, it makes you hone in more on your routine?
I'm not sure which came first, the chicken or the egg there. I think because I got lucky on one or two in the beginning of pressure putts. So now your mindset says I can make pressure putts.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? So because the success came early. So I can reflect, hey, I've done this, instead of, I've never made any pressure putts. I always seem to miss. Right. Then now you're forcing the issue. I think the outcome came before, I don't know what led to that outcome, but now I just reflect on that outcome. Something good happened, and I can go back. I've done this. I've seen this before.
Do you visually,
and it relaxes the shoulders and arms, so you can make a good swing.
So with your example of putting, do you ever see when you're over the ball, like one of those pressure putts, do you actually see the ball going in the hole before you make the stroke?
Almost on every putt I hit.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so I from behind it a little bit, for seeing the fall line, so how it's traveling. That's fun. I'm sure you do the same. You're a great putter, but I actually do. The ones I don't see a lot are the 4 or 5 footers. Can't see them, so they're often forced.
That's so interesting. I wonder why that is.
15, 20 footers, I almost always see them fall before I putt, and not only twice. Once behind it, I just kind of visualize them falling, and then once when I get over it, I can see the same thing. And it's often comes off that way. It's weird, but 4 or 5 footers, they're just I think it's because you just focus so much on the line and speed and stay still and hit it. There's my line. It's right there. I just got to not move out of this position, and it's more not as visual. It's more processed than visual, and I'm probably not the best putter 4 or 5 feet. I don't know.
Right.
But,
So it's interesting that you say that because we've talked about this. We've talked about this before when you and I went up to Green Hills Country Club. And it was the first time you and I played there. And it was my friend of mine. We went to a Giants game, and a friend of mine worked there as a pro.
Yeah, that was a
And
called Green. I
it's
love that little golf course.
Alistair McKenzie designed.
Yeah.
So the greens were like,
Awesome.
now that we've been to the Masters, some of them kind of did look like the Masters greens. Not that they were of that caliber, but they were
pretty good, man.
They were pretty fast.
Yeah, they were awesome.
But I remember after 2 holes, I almost 4-putted, I think, the first hole. I 3-putted by chance, and I 3-putted the second hole, and I'm hitting the greens, and I'm not comfortable putting. And I did, for whatever reason, I still don't know why, I just was like, I'm just going to pretend I hear the ball, see the ball falling in the hole like it's in midair, or hear the cup. Like
Nice.
the ball hit the cup, and all of a sudden it was like a light went off, and there comes the putting stroke. It's just boom, boom, boom.
Well, I think that your mind has to set the tone for how the body reacts, obviously. So,
Yeah.
So if these greens are fast, and now you're starting, and when they do, I start seeing much slower roll and more break, right? And the ball, I'm a lagger, always have been, right?
Right.
You get at the hole. You're
right.
So I see, so that's what's difficult when you're playing a scramble with somebody that they say, okay, it breaks 2 cups left or it breaks 6 inches to the left. Who knows? That could be so different for everybody, right?
Exactly.
So that's the hardest thing when I play scramble. I don't want anybody to tell me because I see it. I'm a lagger and I'm not. So they mean well. At least I know a direction they think it's turning, right?
Right.
But I see fast greens really slow roll, more break than because most people in fast greens either jam it way past the line or it just kills it. It's hard. So you need that certain pace in your mind and have to execute that. So it's really slow breathing, soft hands. Let the club release, kind of a thing. But it's all visual on fast greens. 100% visual for me, and 100% on fast greens.
Yeah, and it's funny you say it because I'm the same. I'm the exact same way. And it's interesting that we're talking about this. Sorry, they're texting me, the people who are
That's what Dr. Glenn people.
So now it's going to be a PGA Pro, the co-author, if we can get him on. They had a little mishap.
All of my questions are for him.
Yeah, so now it's going to be for the co-author, the Eric Jones. He's a PGA professional.
Can you say that? Can we get him next week and just continue this talk? Because all of my questions are
okay. Why don't we do that
for him? I've got connections with him and Bill Walsh.
Yeah,
I've got connections.
Let's. Yeah, sorry.
No problem, man. We'll get hop.
But I was going to throw something in here real quick, and we come back. We got some cool Super Bowl prop bets and things like that.
Cool.
That would be cool. But I wanted to share this with you because I know you'll appreciate this on our talk of executing shots under pressure. So for me, this was some pressure, but it's fun pressure. So Thursday night, I'm with the first tee 11 and older class. We've got about 15 of them, and most of them are older kids, and some have played a lot and some haven't. So we did the 3-jack game, but we all decided we're going to change it up. So what we did is we had 16 players. The first 2 putts, we're all going to one hole. The first 2 putts are pure positioning, purely positioning. You can't knock in the hole. If you knock in the hole, you're out.
Right.
The third putt, you're trying to make it, and so it's odds versus evens on the balls, right?
Okay.
So you can have your ball could be blocking the hole, and you're an odd putting, try to putt in, and there's an even in there.
Or they can knock your even in and even gets a point, right?
Or we just said if you knock the other ball in, they're out. But remember, that's going to be your third putt. So if that's your third putt, your ball doesn't go in, you're not in either.
Right.
So it kind of holds.
They're both out then.
It kind of holds that stymie effect. So we're all sitting there, and we play that whole game, and then we tied. It was like we ended up tying.
That means no one in?
Everybody, no, we had 5 points and 5 points.
Oh, I got it.
We all tied. So we said, okay, let's do this. We're going to pick a putt that's about 15 feet. Everybody's going to putt. Every putt that's made is worth 2 points. But we started from number 16 on the ball all the way to 1. And we went backwards on the count instead of 1 to 16. Yeah. Well, I forgot that I was number 1.
Last man up.
Yeah. So they're going along, and some of these kids are just making some great putts, man. And there's parents all around because it's right near the end of class, and a couple of kids make it, and there's like a gallery, and all the people are, the parents are jumping up and down and cheering. The kids are just eating it up. It was just such a great moment. And then one of the kids, Owen, says to me, he goes, you're number one, right? And I said, I'm number one. He goes, yeah, on your ball, it's number one. I'm thinking, he's telling me I'm number one.
You
like,
are number
nice
one,
kid.
buddy.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, that's a lot of pressure. And I go, that's okay. I've been there before. So, of course, we get there and it's tied. We get to number one and it's tied.
Nice.
And then this time,
everybody's lined up.
Everybody's around the green. And I get up there and they're like, a couple kids go, don't choke, Coach Mike. Noonan, they're doing all that. And so I hit the putt, and I visualized exactly what you said. I visualized where it was going to go in on the hole. So it went on the right side, but it went a little bit past the hole, and it hung on the back edge of the right edge of the hole, and it fell in.
Nice
at
drama, too.
Yeah, it was so perfect. Like, it is so perfect. And
that is awesome. Coach comes through.
Yeah,
parents are
like,
screaming.
Thank God.
No, that's cool.
Not that it would have been the
They'll
end of the
always
world.
say Coach knows best now. That's
yeah,
very
but
cool.
It was a great moment. But
those games are fun. We did it last night too. I had 14 kids, and we didn't do the variation that you did. I think I'll try it next time. But it was getting dark. We had some of us had our cell phone lights on, so you can finally see.
Yeah.
But it cost me $10 because
that's expensive.
So they play hard, man, for $10.
$10 is a lot.
I know they play hard. And it's pretty fun. And if there's a few of them in there that are mentors and played high school and junior golf, they won't take the money.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they win because I get to keep my $10.
Wow, that's cool.
And then there's
there's
the newbies coming up.
Yeah.
They'll take the money.
Of course, the newbies are all.
And they did.
That's so
the only pressure I can relate to I played the Sawgrass 17th 4 times, right?
Yeah.
And you think about that hole from hole 1, right? And that's still my screensaver on my phone, and I have that picture.
That's a great
Facebook.
shot.
But I've hit it all 4 times. I've hit that green all 4 times. And
that's amazing.
3 9-irons and an 8-iron. One time the wind was a little higher, but those guys hit sand wedges. But it's 135 yards, something like that. But it's kind of neat because you're getting nervous.
Is that all they play it at? Is 135?
I don't think you can go farther than that. I think that's the back as far as it gets. Unless they build a tee because you walk around the pond.
I always thought that shot was longer for some reason.
The day that Ricky hit it 4 times, made 4 birdies or whatever, he hit sand wedges each time.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
But anyway, I just remember that. So it was you're thinking about it. So you breathe. I just breathe slower, and you're like, what's a stock? This was a stock 9-iron or something, and you get up because and then I don't know why, but I get that calmness I wish I had on every swing. But I had that 4 times. I immediately hit one in the water left on 18. It was like right after that because that 18th hole for a fader of left-hander is one tough shot. The 18th hole.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine.
I've hit the water once, but otherwise I'm way right.
Yeah, that's.
Right. But I got right up and made good swings all 4 times. Hit the green all 4 times, and I'm proud of that because the people I'm playing, one guy's still splashing balls. I mean, he ended up picking up and dropping on the green.
Wow.
And because if that gets into your head.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Because that's just a short little shot, but a slight chunk. Slight blade, slight pull. It's a fun hole to play. But I said it because I've thought about it for quite a while. But when I walk to the tee and I get comfortable, I get this calming, and I stand there and everything loosens up, and I just turn and go, and so it's common to know I can do that. If I would have chunked the first one the very first time I played that hole, maybe it'd be in my head the rest of the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. But 8-iron was scary because it's too much club. At least it was then. But it was kind of windy in the face. So if you know,
wow.
So I just
so
put,
awesome.
and it actually hit middle of the green. I thought it was going to go long, but there's more wind. But that was a little nervous because it wasn't the stock shot.
Yeah,
right? It was a little different than a stock shot.
That's awesome.
So, but anyways,
very cool. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with some Super Bowl prop bets. It's Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Millie, brought to you by McPhee's Grill of Templeton, hometown cooking through and through. McPhee'sGrill.com. 805-434-3204. Check out Ian's famous barbecue sauce at McPhee'sGrill.com today. We'll be right back.